And I give the call to the member for Hume.
My question is to the Prime Minister. Before the election, the Prime Minister promised Australians cheaper mortgages. Can the Prime Minister inform Australians how much the cash rate has increased since May 21?
Order. The member for Hume was heard in silence for his question. The Prime Minister. I call the Prime Minister.
I'll ask the Treasurer to answer the question, but we're not going to take lectures from the lightweight on the hill over there.
Order. Order. The Treasurer may resume his seat. Order. Until the House comes to order, I won't hear the Manager of Opposition Business. I call the Manager of Opposition Business.
Well, Mr Speaker, that is clearly unparliamentary language and he should be asked to withdraw.
I honestly could not hear what the Prime Minister was saying because of the yelling in the chamber. Order. I'm going to call the Treasurer and I'm going to ask the House to come to order. There is far too much noise. I'm issuing a general warning for the entire House. And I call the Treasurer.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mr Speaker. With questions that bad, is it any wonder he hardly ever gets one, Mr Speaker, in this place? Now, it might not have dawned on the Shadow Treasurer, nor on the dregs of the former government, which are arrayed before us, that—
Order. Order. I'll take— I'm asking the Treasurer to resume his seat, but I'm asking the Manager to resume his seat. I just ask the Treasurer not to use that language when referring to the former government, either as the former government or former members of the government. And I call the Treasurer.
Would leftovers be parliamentary, Mr Speaker?
I'm asking the Treasurer to get on with his answer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and thank you to the Shadow Treasurer for a very rare and particularly bad question. Because as everybody else in this House knows, interest rates started going up on their watch. And interest rates started going up for a range of reasons, from the extraordinary lows that they were at 0.1%, and they're currently at 2.85%, as every member of this House knows, except perhaps the Shadow Treasurer. Now, if the Shadow Treasurer had any credibility whatsoever, he would acknowledge, first of all, that rates started going up on the former government's watch, and secondly, he would say what members over there said when they started going up during the election, which was interest rates were not going to be at 0.1% forever. And so what we've done, Mr Speaker, and one of the reasons why we're proud of the budget we handed down 2 weeks ago, and the Shadow Treasurer won't ask me any questions about the budget that was handed down 2 weeks ago. But what we did in that budget was we made sure that we weren't making the inflation problem worse. In fact, we showed remarkable spending restraint, real spending growth was flat, we banked the upward revenue revisions, and we invested in the supply chain issues which were pushing inflation up in our economy. And that's why I was asked about interest rates.
The member for Hume will cease interjecting, otherwise I won't call the Manager of Opposition Business. The Treasurer may resume his seat. The Manager of Opposition Business, and I'd ask him to state the point of order.
On relevance, very direct question. Australians were promised cheaper mortgages. That was your promise. What are you doing about it?
Yes, and the Treasurer is referring to interest rates, which in my understanding is linked to mortgages. So I call the Treasurer.
Well, you're already far ahead of the Shadow Treasurer, Mr Speaker, if you make that link, and far ahead of the Manager of Opposition Business. Because the point that I'm making, Mr Speaker, is that the budget we handed down 2 weeks ago was aimed fairly and squarely at this inflation challenge in our economy, which is pushing up interest rates. Inflation was a problem before the election. Interest rates were going up before the election. They have absolutely no credibility if they won't acknowledge that.